You're posting consistently, getting views, but your calendar is still empty. And if you're a coach or consultant selling high ticket programs, your landing page is probably costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue. I know this because I built landing pages that have generated over $6 million for my clients like Luke Belmar, Sneeko, Luke Alexander, Chris Matz, and some others. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework that I use for them. And it's the same one that's helped close deals at 5 to 15,000 plus per program. And this isn't just some generic template that you're going to just copy and paste. This is the complete psychological blueprint for building landing pages that turn cold visitors into book strategy calls and these book strategy calls into closed clients, okay? And no fluff, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to structure every single section of your landing page so your leads are already sold by the time they hop on a call. So let's get right into it. All right, so assuming that you have a good offer and you're driving traffic to a landing page, if you're still not filling up your calendar with qualified leads, it's probably one of these 3 reasons, okay? So number 1, you're probably leaving them with a lot of questions. You're not giving them enough information to go ahead and make a decision to book a call, okay? And for the ones that are booking calls, it's probably more along the lines to just ask you questions or to explore or window shop. It's not necessarily because they're ready to buy, okay? Which leads me to my second point, which is you might not be selling your services properly, all right? So you might be using a generic opt-in page where you're offering them some type of lead magnet or free training, or if you do have a full-on landing page, it's probably acting more as a brochure, okay? So you got to think of your landing page as a sales rep, all right? So the same way that your sales reps are going to handle objections, the same way that your sales reps are going to, blow past these smoke screens, and the same way that your sales reps are going to use emotional drivers to get them to make a decision, that's the exact same thing that you need your landing page to do, okay? And this also brings me to my third point, which is it might sound a bit too generic and not specific to them, okay? So the way we're going to double down on these emotional drivers is by understanding who your ICP is and being able to speak their language and highlight their pain points, okay? Because if you don't do this, you end up sounding like a generalist, and that's going to lower their perceived value of you, and they're also going to commoditize you, comparing you to everybody else in the industry, okay? So your landing page, the way you got to think about this, it has one job. All right, so now let's dive right into it, okay? So this is the Verdex framework. I call this the full stack lander, all right? And this framework is specifically for coaches who are selling higher ticket programs, okay? For some of you, you might consider 5,000 to not be a high ticket program, but this can work from anywhere from $5,000 programs to $20,000 plus coaching programs, okay? And this is usually for people who are offering programs that include courses, communities, coaching, live calls, full stack offers. And anything that requires a sales call to close, to be honest, can work with this same framework too. All right, so the structure I'm going to show you uses proven psychological triggers that establishes immediate authority. All right, so that way you're positioned as the go-to person in your space. It builds unquestionable trust. It overcomes all their objections, and then it gives them a frictionless path to book a call with you. All right, so let's dive right into it. All right, so first things first, I'm just going to give you an overview of the overall wireframe layout for this landing page, okay? So again, the objective here is to get the visitor to book a call and already be sold on the service. All right, so first you want to have a nav bar, then your hero section, which is your hook. You want to have a story, your offer, testimonials. You want to let them know if this is for them. You want to tell them what tangible results or key skills that they're going to learn, what the process is with working with you, who it is that they'll be learning from or working with, case studies, and just adding a bit more social proof, frequently asked questions, call to action, and then optional is an affiliate program, okay? So on the right hand side, you can go ahead and pause wherever you need to. This breaks down each and every section in a bit more details, all right? But I'm gonna break down even more the first 4 sections because these are the most important ones, okay? So I'm gonna scroll through these real slow. You can go ahead and pause and take notes. And then I'm gonna jump right into the nav bar and the hero section. So starting with the nav bar, again, you don't wanna overcomplicate this. It's a pretty straightforward approach. What you want to do is you want to make sure every single link on the top of the nav bar is directly linked to sections on your landing page, right? You want to make sure that they can find what they need while keeping booking options visible no matter where they scroll. So some examples of how this looks is you have all your links here. These links, when you click them, it'll scroll to different sections of the website, and then it'll be sticky, so you'll always have a call to action right here on the top right corner, okay? And some mobile considerations, I would not really put a call to action all the time. Sometimes you can put a call to action if it fits, and sometimes it might just be more neat if you just do it without a call to action. All right, so next, let's dive into the hero section. And this is arguably the most important section of your landing page, okay? So I'm gonna briefly go over this. However, I do have another video on my channel where you can kind of just get a better understanding of how you should be structuring your your hero section. All right, so a few key elements on this hero section is an announcement bar, a trust bar, a pre-headline, a main headline, sub-headline, big 3 bullets, review carousel widget, some trust text under the call to action, and a VSL or headshot of you or any type of relevant graphic, okay? And I put this in the order that I would do it, all right? So if you have a VSL, I would recommend putting a VSL. If you don't have a VSL, I would put a picture of yourself on there and then maybe some kind of relevant graphics around it of results that you got for your clients. And if not, just any other relevant graphic that you can have above the fold to grab attention, but still communicate that value. All right, so just a few examples of what this might look like for you. So you have the pre-headline, and here, let me make sure I'm not blocking it with my camera over here. Perfect. All right, so you have your pre-headline, and again, you can go ahead and pause the video here, but your pre-headline is going to call out the avatar. They need to know that they're in the right place and that we're speaking directly to them. All right, next you have your headline or your hook, okay? So your headline or your hook is something that's going to build curiosity and hook the visitor and also communicate your value proposition clearly. All right. Again, you want to ignore the copy here. This is just a generic wireframe just to kind of show you the overall flow of everything. Then you have your sub headline. So your sub headline is to induce a bit more curiosity and if possible, highlight what makes you unique. And this is going to build on the main headline and let them know that they will learn how to do something without any type of pain. Next, you have your big 3 bullets. So I took this from Alex Hormozy with the big 3 bullets. It's going to include benefits that they're going to get and any limited time deliverables that are included with the offer. You're going to have your call to action, obviously, and then beneath the call to action, I would have some type of time delay or something to kind of get them either to trust you more or to induce a bit more urgency. Then you want to have a quick review snippet down here. This can be a carousel, so it can be swiping with quick reviews. And if they click it, it can scroll down to the review page. And then you have your VSL, and then you have a trust bar up here. And this trust bar, again, is going to just include quick points that build trust and social proof. So, 500 plus students, 12 million generated, 100 plus positive reviews, etc., etc. So here's another example on how this would look if it was to be, approached with a better design. So you have your reviews here, you have your big 3 bullets over here, your pre-headline, main headline, sub-headline, call to action with that text right under your call to action. You have your trust bar and you have your announcement bar up here. And the announcement bar, I didn't touch on this, but you want to make sure that this announcement bar is I usually like to make it show that whatever it is that they're looking at is still current, okay? Because they might come across you from an older video and they might click through to your landing page and they want to make sure you're still actively working on this or providing this service, okay? So usually what I would do is something like the last course update or, still a few more openings as of, March, whatever it is, all right? Before I continue, if you're a coach or consultant and you want my team to build out an entire funnel for you, everything from YouTube video ideas, scripting, video editing, doing the YouTube SEO, all the way to building you a landing page just like this and handling all the back-end automation so that we can pre-qualify your clients for you and get them on your calendar and ready to buy, go ahead and click the link below. We can get on a call and I can build you out a strategy for free and so you can see what this would look like if you were to work with us. So this section, the story section, is what we're going to use to connect with the visitor and also really get these emotional drivers in place so that way they can take action and be excited to get on this call with you and actually purchase whatever it is that you're selling, okay? So this is where you're gonna build a lot of rapport and trust and you're gonna connect with them via emotion, all right, not just logic. So this is gonna be your chance to share your personal journey, reveal struggles and transformations, and show proof and credibility, all right? So you want to start off with empathy. You want to use vivid metaphors and maybe even a bit of humor if that's aligned with your personal brand. Make it conversational, tease your offer a little bit, and then use your kind of choose your adventure style call to actions, right? So let people feel in control of how they buy. And you'll see a few examples down here. All right, so one section that I love comes from Sabri Subi, I think his name is, and it's on his website, King Kong. He has a story section here. And remember, people are lazy and they don't want to read that long of a thread. So find creative ways to make it engaging. You can see his is super punchy. Each line that you read, it sounds very punctual and to the point. It doesn't feel very overwhelming, okay? Another way that you can do this is by adding highlights to certain sections. This is one that we did to a client. And as they scroll, it can highlight. And again, that just makes it a bit more engaging, okay? One more thing to touch on here in the story section is the choose your adventure style call to action, okay? So a great example of this is this piece of copy right here. And I'm just gonna read it out. And at the end, I'll put it all together so that way you can understand what I mean by creating a choose your adventure call to action. So you're reading this right now because in some way, shape, or form, your business isn't where you want it to be. Or maybe you're flying, or simply you want more security, more money, more freedom, more memories, more time with your family, more business class flights with your spouse to places that result in more sand between your toes. Whatever it is for you, it all starts by, quote unquote, choosing your own adventure below. All right. So this is a call to action. However, he's masking this call to action by leaving it up to the reader, okay? And he's using these emotional triggers by painting a picture of what's on the other side of this dream outcome, all right? It's more than just book calls for them. It's more than just getting more money with their business. It's what that money will do for them, which is giving them more security, more freedom, more memories, more time with their family. So you can only really do this if you understand who your ICP is. So it's really important that before you even work on this landing page and redo it, you have a really deep understanding of who it is that your ICP is. So that way you can speak directly to them and they can feel heard. And then you can create a strong, powerful call to action just like this that induces that emotion that gets them to want to hear more from you and book a call. So now coming into the offer section. Okay, so this is a super important section. This is where you're gonna start actually selling what it is that you offer people, okay? So I like to use a combination of value stacking as well as including some stunning visuals in there so that way it can just be a bit more eye-catching and really elevate your brand in general, okay? So I'm gonna touch on value stacking first. So when I say value stacking, you're including everything that's coming in your program, even if it's something small, all right? So you can see here, discover my #1 closing technique, the stack. This is a very specific deliverable, all right? So I want you to take down what it is that you're providing these clients and break that down into small micro pieces, all right? And if you have to, package it together and then include some nice visuals like this, right? So for this client, as a part of his course, he just had a manual in there, a trading manual. I separated it and isolated it. I created a nice graphic for him like this. And then now he's also including a Valaris trading manual, which is just a PDF. So now with this, he's able to make his program look more expensive and look like it's coming with a lot more features, all right? When it is a valuable piece, I'm not trying to say that that piece of deliverables is not valuable. However, we're really elevating that perceived value by highlighting it in a way that makes it seem like it's something tangible they can get and they can get excited for, okay? And even with something like this, like fast responses from the support team, you can add graphics like this and just also include some potential questions they might have or potential concerns, okay? So the offer section, you want to create a bento box, you want to create a gallery section with a bunch of these cards and just include everything that is coming within your offer. So then we have the testimonial section, okay? So there's gonna be two sections that really highlight the social proof. One is testimonials and one is case studies. So case studies are more like long form videos where you're kind of talking to the client, you're getting their experience with working with you and highlighting the results that you got them. However, testimonials are a bit different. It's just a quick highlight of, hey, look, I liked working with this person. They got me said result. I really recommend them. Peace out. Goodbye. Right? If you don't have videos, then you can go ahead and include screenshots of the results that your clients are getting because of you. Okay, so if you're teaching people how to start an agency, that's Stripe screenshots. If you're teaching people how to do drop shipping, that's Shopify screenshots. If you're teaching people how to trade, that's P&Ls. You know, just include actual screenshots of their results because that'll be a lot more powerful than just including text like this. However, if you don't have screenshots, if you don't have videos, you can still make it work with text. Just keep in mind, I would include a punchy headline summarizing what it is that they liked about working with you, or just simply highlight a specific portion or excerpt of their testimonial that lets the reader quickly see, okay, this is what's good about this company. So those were the most important sections of your landing page. And now I'm going to go over quickly the other sections and how you should be approaching these. Okay, so right now we just covered testimonials. Just beneath that, you want to let them know that they're in the right place. Okay, so I'm going to give two scenarios. Scenario one, you have several different programs that you offer to different types of audiences. You want to explain who each program or offer is for, so that way you can go ahead and make sure that they are going in the right direction. Okay, the second one, which is going to be majority of you, if you have just one flagship offer or program, you just want to call out and make it known that, hey, look, like, say this one's an advanced program. You want to talk to people who are having trouble scaling, people who are having trouble finding reliable suppliers. These points are going to communicate more to an intermediate or advanced person, and I'm talking about a dropshipping example, rather than a beginner who it's like getting started setting up your store and finding products and things like that. So again, I'm not trying to highlight the features. I'm trying to say that this is for somebody who needs help finding products. This is for somebody who needs help building their store. This is for somebody who's never built a business online. This is for somebody who only has 5 hours a day. Or this is for somebody who has a business, but they have certain bottlenecks within their business, like suppliers and reserves on their processors, things like that. Okay, next is you want to highlight what it is that they will learn. So this is very different from highlighting what's included in your offer. So for example, down here we have that trading manual that's included. That's a deliverable. But what will they take away from that trading manual? Maybe it's learning how to manage emotions. Maybe it's learning how to time your entries properly. So you want to make sure you're talking about what it is that they're going to walk away with, what skills, what knowledge that they will gain. After that, you want to go over your process. Let them know how it's going to work. Give them a step-by-step explanation of the entire customer journey from where they are right now, which is on your landing page, to getting their dream outcome. And you want to simplify this, all right? You want to make it easy to understand. You want to make it look like a nice journey. You don't want to make it look like they're going to have to, jump through 1,000,001 hoops. All right, you can be transparent and let them know, hey, look, it's going to be difficult, and communicate that in a certain way. But again, the point I'm trying to get across here is you don't want to have 15 steps on a section on how it works. Okay, after that, they want to know who it is that they're learning from. They want to know that you're credible. They want to know what your expertise is. So here, include any credentials, any achievements, any expertise. Just under that, there's the video case studies. We touched on that a bit earlier. So this is separate from the testimonials. It's going to be a bit longer form videos that are embedded into your website. Then you have frequently asked questions. The best thing that you can do here is, if you record your sales calls, upload the transcripts to some type of AI like ChatGPT or Claude, and then have it analyze all the common objections that you get, and then highlight and address these common objections in your FAQs and provide clear and concise answers. Then you want to have your call to action or book a call section. So if you have a Calendly, this is where you want to embed your Calendly, and then you want to make sure that you're using some type of copy that's going to use these emotional triggers. Okay, so like for example, are you ready to change your life? Book a call below. That's very vague, very oversimplified example, but again, you want to make it more than just, hey, book a call, hey, join now. So place the CTA strategically throughout the page, and then also make it simple. Okay, so have them book a call, and then if you need to, after that, include some automations or some type of post follow-up page where they have to complete a type form, and that'll further pre-qualify them. Okay, but you just want to get their information quickly first. So here I'll probably just put that call booking option, and if you need to disqualify them because they didn't fill out a form or something like that, that's up to you. And then if you have an affiliate program, this is where you can include that as well. It's optional, but just put it at the bottom of your landing page. Okay, that is the exact landing page framework that I use to generate millions of dollars for my clients. And now you have everything that you need to build your landing page the right way. But here's the reality: you can take everything that I just showed you and then try to figure it out yourself. Deal with the copywriters, designers, developers, grinding out content with no strategy, and then just hope it all comes together. Or you can work with me and my team to build you a complete done-for-you YouTube funnel using this exact same framework. All right, so we'll handle your entire YouTube content strategy. So that's coming up with your YouTube ideas, scripting the videos, editing them, making the thumbnails, and then handling the SEO. And then we'll also make you a high-converting landing page. So we'll do the strategy for it, we'll design it, develop it, do all the copy, and then set up the back-end automations so that we can pre-qualify your leads and grow your business the right way. So if you're a coach, consultant, and you're doing $20,000 to $30,000 a month, and you're looking to scale that further, and you're serious, click the first link in the description and learn more about how we can help.